Hi everybody, I'm Dee Dee. Welcome to my Sexist Womanist Bohemian channel. Pink Chill Divest is the softer side of divestment. My brand of divestment, what I am practicing since the 1980s, that's right, a long time, is simply, I define divestment and it's what I do. I withdraw myself, my resources, and my love from anybody who is non-reciprocal. That goes across race and gender. That's my brand of divestment. This is a lecture. I am speaking as a mental health professional here. I'm certified as a mental health peer specialist from San Francisco State University. That happened back in the year 2013. Let's get to it. Shacking Up, Part 1. This is a Part 2 talk. Part 1, Shacking Up, is for my single, child-free ladies. Shacking up is living with a man outside of wedlock. It's having a boyfriend that you live with. For the ladies who do want to get married, and I don't argue about marriage, I personally, as a sorrel widow, I'm a sorrel widow currently, rest in paradise, Richard. I'm pro-marriage, and don't be embarrassed if you want to get married. If you want to get married, it is not a good idea to shack up, but if you're young, free, carefree, do what you're going to do. You're not hurting any children. You're not dragging any children into your romantic hijinks, so do what you're going to do, girl. I would recommend that you have your own place, but if it is your place and you allow a male to move in with you, it's a beta move on his part. That means he doesn't have the resources to have his own place. Let's be frank about it. He doesn't have his stuff together in general. That's why he's moving in with you. He doesn't have his stuff together. So that's a power imbalance. Just so you understand, which is why it goes so bad when single mothers allow males to move into their homes with their children. I digress. That's part 2 of this talk. It is better to have your own place. If you do let a male move in with you, make sure he goes in, he helps you pay the rent, he goes in on all the utilities, he buys groceries. Do not mother him. And particularly, my brand of divestment is I am a culturally competent woman and a interracial dater. As I did say, I'm a widow, swirl widow, so I know a lot about non-black cultures. Ladies, shacking up is a good thing to do when you don't have any kids involved. Now, the flip side is if you move to his place. If you move to his place, that is putting you at a disadvantage because he could kick you out at any time for any reason. If you do shack up with the dude, go nest at his place instead of him nesting with you, make sure you have enough resources that you could comfortably bounce from point A, his place, and he kicks you out to point B, a new place. Maybe you make sure you can move back with your parents or have a roommate you could move in with. Make sure that you have things ready if stuff goes south. All right, because that's realistic. Because you shacking up is not marriage. He's not legally obligated to take care of you. Remember, a guy moving in with you, it is a beta move. It's not a powerful move as far as a man is concerned. So keep an eye on it because men like to feel powerful in general. Keep an eye on him. That was quick, wasn't it? Because you don't have any kids involved. When kids are involved in a shacking up situation, it is serious. Here is part 2 of Shacking Up, the single mothers. I give women credit who do the best mothering they can. There are some great mothers out there in the black community. Some of you ladies are doing wonderful jobs. You're a mama bear. You are protecting your children. You believe your children over any man. You read their body language. You let them know they have body autonomy. You teach them sex education. You let them know they don't have to sit on anybody's lap. They don't have to give anybody a kiss on the mouth. You let them know they could come to mama and mama is going to protect and, more importantly, believe them. That's not the majority of black single mothers. We have a lot of single mothers out there that frankly are dating to get healed. They are themselves looking for their own daddy figure. The majority of single mothers in America are fatherless themselves. We got the fatherless generation raising another fatherless generation. That is what it is. If you don't have your head together, if you didn't get that talk therapy, you have unhealed daddy issues, and unconsciously, you're going to attract men that you think are a father figure for you, not for your kids, for you. That just makes sense. We are human beings. You are looking for your own father figure. You want to feel protected. You want to feel taken care of. You want to feel you have a masculine entity who's going to wrap his arms around you, and you're going to be that little girl who is safe. That ain't right, because children are in the equation, and your child's safety is paramount. Your child's safety is paramount. Unfortunately, too many single mothers out there using their children as little careless sidekicks. They're dating. Listen, if you want to date like a child-free woman, you should have never had a kid. You cannot date and shack up like a child-free woman. Your children are not inanimate objects. Your children are not cats and dogs. They are real, live human beings with their own souls and their own intention to grow into a productive citizen, and that is your job. And we already know that in the Black community, there is a high incidence of abuse for kids. It's estimated up to 60% of Black kids, particularly Black girls, have been interfered with. Now, I'm going to use the word Chester. I'm not going to go deep with these triggering things. Chester, there was a cartoon in a magazine called Hustler. It was called Chester the Molester. That'll be the first time I'll use that M word. Chester was a character that they demystified that this really happened. So he would go around, they show him flashing and being naughty. They didn't show him interfering with children, but you got the point. So from this point on, I'm calling the bad guys Chesters. You have children and a Black woman in your place. You have been courted by Chesters. Probably over 50% of the guys who want to get with you to get to your children. The statistics prove this already. Stepfathers and play daddies are more dangerous to the children than their biological fathers. It's like in nature. These men aren't related to your children. They have no DNA connection to your children. Your children are inanimate objects to them. Your children, to some of these guys that are Chesters, your children mean nothing except satisfying their desires. Listen, it doesn't matter if your child is not a cute little kid. Your kid could be cross-eyed, little fat kid, sway back, buck teeth. The Chesters don't care. They get their sick kicks interfering with children. Understand that. Put that through your head. It doesn't matter if the man is white, good-looking, and drives a Mercedes. Chester. Doesn't matter if he's Asian, quiet, and makes great food. Chester. Doesn't matter if he's a Hispanic handyman, gets up in the morning, goes to work, comes back home, gives you money. He could still be a Chester. You've got to have your head together in order to vet and screen these guys. I would recommend when children are involved and you're even thinking about shacking up with the guy, which again, it's a beta move. It's a beta move to allow a man to move in the house, but you and your kids, he doesn't have his own place. He's not asking to marry you. And the reason why you're letting him move in is because he's not asking to marry you. He doesn't want to marry you. He really doesn't want to be a parent in the majority of the cases. And I'm talking most. I know some of you are going to say, oh, I know so-and-so, Black women with kids get married. We know they do. Have you seen how some of their kids turned out? I have. I'm middle-aged. I've seen these Black women get the swirl stepdaddies in, and some of their kids are hot messes, and the way they behave is as of abuse survivors. Let me tell you a little story. I have a page. It's I still have it, but it's hidden from the public. I had the world's first pink color theory Black woman swirl community. Yep, that's me. I'm that one. Black women with other brothers. It started 10 years ago as of this recording in 2012. There was a woman on Facebook, like a morbidly obese young single mother with a daughter. She showed a picture of a man she met online. He drove up. She allowed him to come into her house. She showed this picture. She allowed this fat white man to come into her house, hold her daughter's, grabbing her daughter by the butt with his hand, pressing her crotch against his chest. And we were calling her out, and they came to my page saying, we should report you to the police. You're trying to insinuate he's a child. I said, I'm not trying to insinuate. You don't let some strange guy pick your precious little baby girl up by the butt and hold the daughter up against your chest. Are you crazy? And then they kept going back and forth. I said, go ahead. Call the police on me. The police, I said, Mama, the police are going to say that you were wrong, and they might start investigating your boyfriend. Oh, all of a sudden, then they blocked me. And another woman that I saw on Facebook, I don't pay attention, African lady, little dark-skinned son. She showed photographs. Oh, I'm in love. I'm engaged. This man was openly seducing her son in the photographs. So tough. I had a private group. I think it was called Black Women to Other Brothers After Dark or something. And me and the ladies in the group were all upset about it, and some were reaching out to contact her. Of course, she's like, no. The guy was hugging a little boy from behind. She showed pictures of him like on the sofa. He's kissing the little boy, but out and out open homosexual seduction of her little boy, and the mother was too blind to see. All she cared was that she had a good-looking little skinny white man who said he wanted to marry her. If a man seems too good to be true, he is. That should be tattooed. Black women getting all these dumb tattoos. Get a tattoo that says, if he seems too good to be true, he is, especially concerning your kids. Now, if you are fatherless and you are recently divested, you've withdrawn your support from the black community because in general, the black community in general is non-reciprocal to black women. It's lopsided. You pulled back. You don't date the Pookies and the Ray Rays anymore. You started opening up. Maybe you met a nice Hispanic guy, nice Jewish guy. Hey, they can be just as freaky as the black males, but they have the advantage because they know the manly art of courtship. The black males are primarily fatherless. Oh, not these other dudes. They come from generational patriarchy who taught them the manly arts of sweet-talking women, the manly arts of social nicety, the manly arts of home economics. They know how to work and play women. These guys are slick. If you are the average, maybe say 30-year-old black single mother, you most likely haven't been taken on a proper date. If your kids have a black father, you most likely have never been taken on a normal date. And they know this. You think they don't know what's going on in the black community? They know. They study. They are studying y'all like crazy. And they know how to court you. They know how to court you. They'll show up. All it takes is $20. They could go to Trader Joe's, the store called Trader Joe's. They go to Trader Joe's, get a beautiful bouquet of flowers for $4. I've got that in my house right now. They get a lovely bottle of some bubbly for $6, so that's $10. Then he could go and get a card. Those are 99 cents, so under $15. He shows up with the flowers and the bottle behind his arm. You haven't been courted like that, remember? And this is for you. Oh my goodness, thank you. May I come in? Yeah, kids, come meet Bob. And then he says, may I pour? Janiqua, may I pour? And you're like, ooh, I've never. Oh, so he's pouring the bubbly. The kids are, oh, mama got a new boyfriend. And he's a Chester. You see how quick that could happen? Your guard is down. Finally I could exhale. I finally found the one, a guy who's nice, guy who's protective. It's essential for you to do, one, is have your head together before you even think about inviting a man to come and nest under your most precious resource. If you're fatherless, you absolutely need to speak to a professional, be it a talk therapist, being a certified mental health professional like me. Now, you don't have to talk to me. Talk to somebody like me, psychiatrist or psychologist. You must talk to a professional if you are fatherless with fatherless kids. If not, if you haven't gotten played, you will. When your head is together, you think clearly and you'll think, hey, why does he want to get up? Why me? Ask yourself, if you're being courted right now, some of y'all are being courted right now. Guys coming full court press courting you, and he tells you, oh my God, I love kids. Now, that's a red flag. A guy doesn't have to tell you he loves kids. So he's trying to seduce you with the sweet talk. And it's easy to let your guard down when you're being seduced by these non-black dudes, and maybe you don't feel so attractive. Maybe you haven't been taken on a date. I know I'm being repetitive, so it can get through some of your thick skulls how they play and manipulate fatherless single mothers to be chesters. There have been many women that tell me that guys pay too much attention to their children, and some kudos to you ladies, you cut those dudes off. A guy wants to FaceTime your kids. What are you doing? He wants to get on the phone and talk to your kids. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is he trying to date your children? Actually, yeah. Yeah, he is. He is. And you make the mistake of thinking that your child is not attractive. It doesn't matter if your child is a little obese butterball. Doesn't matter if your child is swayback, cross-eyed, or buck teeth. They really don't care what the kid looks like. It's the fact that they are children. A woman that I know, we had a conversation. She had a memory. It upset her. She said when her son was 10 years old, he told her that her boyfriend at the time, live-in boyfriend, huh, mama? Her boyfriend at the time made her 10-year-old son take showers with him. What do you think they were doing in the shower? Her son had the wherewithal to tell her right after it happened, and she brushed it off. She didn't listen to her kid. You must listen to your kids, and you must teach your child sex education. You must teach your child body autonomy, that nobody gets to touch them on their privates. You have to have these open dialogues with your children before you even think about letting a man come into your house. You have to let your children know, Mama's here for you. Mama loves you. Mama believes you. Mama is here to protect you. Frankly, most of y'all don't even need to be thinking about moving a man in. Your child is going to be the one left holding the bag anyway when the guy dumps you and move out. If a man wants to shack up with you and he's not asking for your hand in marriage, he's going to be on to the next single mother, leaving a trail of broken children. Fix your daddy hole before you date. Fix your daddy hole before you even consider letting some beta move in under your children. And some of you have the guys in already. Some of you, I know, some of you right now have that icy feeling in your stomach. You have that icy feeling. You're going over in your mind, oh my God, what have I done? It's all right, honey. You get him to move out. You don't tell him why you want him to move out. Say, this is not working. He's going to leave. He'll leave. He'll figure out you figured it out. But some of these guys might go crazy. Make him leave and get up. And remember, ladies, when you go to sleep, you are unconscious with a man in the house with your kids. You are unconscious. You don't know what's happening. You don't know how he has coerced your children. You don't know, maybe he pulled a gun out and said, you're going to do that, and if you don't, I'm going to put a bullet in your head. When your mama wakes up, I'm going to do it to her. And then your child is paranoid. Some of you are so deluded and selfish with your untreated abandonment and attachment issues, you will notice that your child has had those personality changes. The man comes into your life, all of a sudden your kid starts acting shy, or your kid starts acting out, or your kid is sullen, or your kid is too sassy and it's becoming sexualized. What a coincidence. This all happened when the boyfriend came around, but you and your selfish narcissistic world with the blinders on. Oh, there's just being kids. Kids are moody. That's how kids are. No, that's not how kids are. Kids are carefree, lovely little creatures, like little butterflies. They want to play, they want to eat, want to learn something. They don't want to be sitting on the sofa with their head down. They don't want to be walking around mad, kicking the door, because they've been abused. No, I'm not optimistic in general about single mothers allowing men to shack up under their children. I am not. Because as a woman, there is more therapy that needs to happen with mothers, so you can have the clarity and the discernment to make proper choices with whatever men you allow to come into your life. And let's just say you did all that. You got the therapy. No men are coming around your kids. Whatever man you date, you have to start running those checks on him. You don't have any money? You can still be running checks on him. Make sure he's not a registered sex offender. And I'll wrap this up. Always listen to your intuition when it comes to any man being around your children. Your intuition is not paranoia. Intuition is you know, but you don't know why, and you don't know how you know, but you know something is off. Kids have intuition. And always ask your kid the opinion of these men you may have dragged around your kids and read your child's body language. Look at your child when they're talking. If your child has been interfered with and threatened, what do you think of Bob? Your kid might put their head down, maybe start scratching, rubbing their nose. That means they're lying. He's all right. He's okay. Read their body language. That's their job. That's what a mother does. Be Mama Bear. I appreciate everybody listening. I know you know some women who need to listen to this lecture. Please send it to them. Ladies who are doing a good job, I love you. I appreciate you. The world needs you. The world needs you to protect your children so they can grow up to be functional and happy citizens. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. This is Pink Chill. I am Dee Dee.